Hey everyone. So today we're going to talk about a psychological trap that, honestly, so many of us fall into, especially if you've ever been called a high achiever, and you might not even realize you're in it. We're talking about something called the good student trap. It's this idea of being stuck in a gilded cage. But what if we could turn that cage into a playground? Let's dive in and see how we can actually do that.
So, do me a favor. Just for a second, think back to your school days. You know that one person, the valedictorian, the one who always got perfect scores, never broke a single rule? Seriously, where did they end up? It's a question I think a lot of us have probably asked ourselves, even if just in the back of our minds. And you know what's so interesting? When you really look at it, it's often not that perfect student who goes on to do something truly groundbreaking. A lot of the time, it's the ones who were a little more adventurous, maybe bent the rules a bit. They're the ones who really seem to take off once the rigid structure of school is gone. So, what's going on there? Why does that happen? Well, that question brings us right to our first big idea here, the good student's gilded cage. And that metaphor is just perfect, isn't it? It perfectly captures this price you pay for always being perfect, a life that looks amazing and shiny from the outside, but from the inside, it feels totally restrictive. So, what exactly is this good student archetype? Well, think about it. This is someone who absolutely thrives when the rules are crystal clear. Their entire sense of self-worth, their achievement, it's all built on getting the correct answer. They become masters, at solving problems that, well, already have a known solution. This makes them this perfect top-tier component, a flawless cog in a bigger machine. Okay, so where does this road usually lead? Well, it turns out there are pretty much three common paths. The first two are exactly what you'd expect, right? You become a top-tier professional, a doctor, a lawyer, or that perfect corporate executive. And hey, from the outside, that's success. But on the inside, they often feel more like a perfect executor of tasks, not a true originator of ideas. And then you've got path number three, the late-life rebel, the person who, after decades of playing by the rules, just snaps and breaks free. Right. So what's actually keeping them, or us, locked in this cage? It's this incredibly powerful voice inside our own heads. You can think of it as the main villain of our story today. We're going to call it the Inner Auditor. It's that voice of extreme, almost paralyzing caution. You know this voice. It's the one that pipes up the second a cool opportunity comes along. It's whispering, wait, is this allowed? What if you fail? Oh my God, what will other people think? Its only job, its entire reason for being, is to keep you on that safe, pre-approved path by questioning absolutely any move that strays from the script. And here's how it pulls it off. It's actually pretty sneaky. So, an opportunity pops up, but before you can even get excited about it, the auditor steps in. And here's the thing, it doesn't scream no. It's much more subtle. It just gently presses a pause button in your brain. And in that one moment of hesitation, while you're busy overanalyzing every possible thing that could go wrong, that window of opportunity, poof, it's gone. Now, listening to that auditor, it feels safe, right? In the short term, it feels like the smart thing to do. But playing it safe all the time, this constant avoidance, it comes with a massive hidden cost. Let's talk about what the real price of being good actually is. And here's the core of the problem. It's all about this trade-off. We think we're chasing security, right? A life where we don't make mistakes. But the price we pay for that in the long run is a feeling that's so much heavier, regret. And regret is that growing pain you feel from all the chances you didn't take. It's the feeling that your true self has been sort of shrunken down to fit inside a tiny, safe box. So let's get specific about these costs. Your creativity, it gets completely stifled. Your gut feeling, your intuition, it gets so dull because you never use it. And you start to feel this deep sense of suffocation. The original text has this amazing term, BC, which basically means being smothered or suffocated to death. How powerful is that? You feel trapped by the very system that was supposed to keep you safe, and it just leads to this constant, low-grade spiritual burnout. Okay, so that's the problem. How in the world do we break out of this cage? Well, the solution is a total revolution how we think. It's a complete flip of the script. It's all about learning to act first and figure it out as you go. And this all starts with a huge mindset shift. The good student is stuck in what you could call an exam hall mindset. They see life as one big test with right and wrong answers, and the goal is to get a perfect score. What we need to do is switch to a playground mindset. Think about it. A playground isn't about getting things right. It's a space for experimentation, for exploration. The goal is just to try stuff, to play, and to learn along the way. And one of the most practical ways to kick this off is just to change one single question you ask yourself. Instead of the old question,
is this allowed, which is really just you asking your inner auditor for permission. You flip it. You start asking a new question. Okay, how do we do this? See the difference? It immediately changes your focus from begging for approval to actively searching for a path forward.
Here's a fantastic tool to help with that. It's called the A/B test mindset. Just think of your life choices this way. Every decision you make, every new thing you try, it's not some final verdict on who you are. It's just an experiment. It's an A/B test. And if it doesn't work out, that's not a personal failure. Not at all. It's just data. It's information telling you what to try differently next time.
Man, this reframe is so powerful. Failure stops being this permanent personality stain, as one of the sources puts it so beautifully. Instead, it becomes experimental data that missed the mark. That's it. When you can do that, you separate your actions from your identity. And let me tell you, that is one of the most freeing feelings in the world.
So what does it actually feel like to live this way? What happens when you finally trade that stressful exam hall for the playground? Well, in this last part, we're going to talk about the payoff, this incredible, incredible feeling of release. Because once you actually start doing things, you realize something amazing. That massive system of external judgment you are so terrified of, a lot of the time, it's as fragile as paper mache. Seriously, the world is way more forgiving and, frankly, way less interested in your missteps than your inner auditor wants you to believe. And the payoff is, wow, it's this amazing feeling of release. It's like taking off a tie that's been too tight your entire life and finally taking a deep breath. Suddenly, your decisions get faster because you're not stuck in an endless debate with your inner auditor. You become more resilient, and maybe most importantly, you start to reconnect with that shrunken self, the real you. You finally get to take back the pen and start writing your own life story again. So let's leave it with this final question, just for you to think about. Breaking free from this trap isn't about becoming reckless or irresponsible. It's just about giving yourself permission to explore, to play. So the real question is, are you ready to meet the version of you who dares to just try?